Hello children, we were studying classification of animals and in the previous turn we studied about arthropoda, that is the largest group of invertebrates. Today we will study about molluscans and echinoderms. Mollusca, now this is the second largest group of invertebrates and they usually have very soft bodies and the body is covered inside a shell. So we will study the characteristics of mollusca. The first characteristic is that they live both in aquatic and terrestrial habitat. So we will find them in water as well as on land. The body is soft and unsegmented. As I told you that generally they have very soft body and that body is covered inside or protected by a shell. Body is divided into head, visceral mass and foot. Foot helps in moving around. Now what is visceral mass? It is nothing but the soft part of the body that is contained within the shell. This visceral mass is the place where we will find all the systems. Its digestive system, its respiratory system, every thing is inside the visceral mass. Body usually protected by external shell and common examples are snail and octopus. This is snail. You all have seen snails. You can see the foot plus body covered inside a shell. Octopus. Here we do not find any external shell. And this is cuttlefish. All three are examples of molluscans. So you can see that there is a lot of variety. Alright, so the characteristics that we study are generalized and you can see some basic differences in these examples, but they all come under mollusca. Alright, now moving on to the next group, that is echinodermata. Now echinoderms, they are exclusively marine, so they will be only found in marine water. Okay, so they are free living marine animals living on sand at the bottom of the sea. The body is unsegmented and in echinodermata you will find animals with unique shapes. They are all very unique and some of them they have star-like appearance. The body is unsegmented and rough because all over the body there are spines present. Now see this is starfish. As I told you that many echinoderms, they have star-like appearance. And if you touch it, you will find that the entire body is covered with spines. So the body is rough. This is sea urchin. Very beautiful. Found at the bottom of the sea. And again, this looks like starfish, but it is brittle star. So many echinoderms are there which looks like a star. Okay, they have star-like appearance. So this is brittle star. Now we've done with all the invertebrates. We've studied all the groups of invertebrates. We will start with classification of vertebrates. You all know, children, that vertebrates are those animals that have backbone. So vertebrates are animals having backbone inside their body. And vertebrates are further classified into 5 groups. Alright, they have 5 groups. Fishes. Second group is amphibians. Frog you all can see, okay? Frog is an example of amphibian. Third group is reptilia. You can see one snake here. It is a reptile. Fourth group is aves or birds. And fifth group is mammals. So vertebrates are divided into or classified into 5 main groups. Now vertebrates, they have 2 types of animals, okay? We can classify them into 2 types on the basis of their regulation of body temperature. So some are cold-blooded and others are warm-blooded. Now children, here you have to understand that what is the meaning of cold-blooded animals. Cold-blooded animals are those animals who cannot regulate their body temperature according to the change in the environment. So what happens is their body temperature changes with change in the environment, and during cold weather they become very lazy, very sluggish in cold weather. So fishes, amphibians and reptiles, they all are cold-blooded animals. Their body temperature changes with the temperature of the surroundings. Birds and mammals, they are generally warm-blooded. Now warm-blooded means their internal body temperature will remain constant and it will not change according to the environment. Alright, so their internal body temperature remains constant. Birds and mammals, they come under warm-blooded animals. Now we will study one group at a time. So the first group of vertebrate is Pisces or fishes. Children, general characteristics of fishes, if I ask you, you all know that. You all know that fishes, they are aquatic. We will find them in water. So they are water living animals. And mostly their bodies, they are covered with scales, right? Shiny scales you can find on their body. You have drawn fishes so many times and you all know all these things. The external appearance is very clear to you. Then they swim with the help of their fins. Body is streamlined. What is the meaning of streamlined? The body at the beginning, you will find that the body is very narrow, then the body becomes broad, and then again at the tail region the body becomes narrow. So basically the body is narrow at both the ends. So such type of body is called a streamlined body. Now why fishes generally have streamlined bodies? Because this shape helps them travel through water or swim easily. Streamlined body helps in reducing the friction and they swim easily in water. That is why most of the fishes, they have streamlined body. They breathe through gills. We all know that if an animal is aquatic, it will need gills to respire. And they lay eggs in water. Examples: rohu, katla, electric ray, stingray. Now here you will see the pictures. The first picture is of rohu fish. The body is covered with fins, the body is streamlined, narrow at both the ends and covered with scales all over. Second picture is of electric ray. And in your books you will find there is this picture of stingray in your book. So they all come under Pisces or fishes. They are all water living animals. They will have gills, they will lay eggs in water, and they are all water living. Okay. Next group is amphibia. The most important characteristic of amphibia is that they can live both in land as well as water. So they can survive at both the places, land also and in water also. Their body is covered with thin, slippery, moist skin. You all have seen frogs, children, right? So you can make out easily the skin is very moist and slippery. They are amphibians. They breathe through lungs whenever they are on land, and otherwise they will breathe through moist skin. They lay eggs in water, and body has head, trunk, neck is absent. So the body is divided into two distinct regions, that is head and trunk. Common examples: frog, toad and salamander. Salamander, children, you can find the picture in the book. Here I have arranged real pictures of frog and toad for you. Now if you just see, you will not be able to find out too many differences between a frog and a toad, but one difference is very clear. Frogs, they have a very smooth and thin, slimy skin, and toad, they have rough and thick skin. Other than this, the legs, there is some difference in their legs also. Frogs, they have longer legs, and toads, they have shorter legs. These two external differences you can very easily make out through the pictures. Otherwise, rest of the appearance is very similar. Alright, so they come under amphibians. We will study about reptiles, aves and mammals in the next session. Till that time, children, keep on studying and revise till taught. Alright, thank you very much.